So recently I read that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are going to make $23,000 per second of their fight. My question for everyone is, how long would you take a beating if you got paid $23,000 per second?
I would take it as long as I could stand, like as long as I could.
No, but the whole thing is that you have to decide beforehand. So if you say,
do you think
90? Yeah, if you say 90 seconds,
describe
and you
the beating.
get 61 seconds in, and you're like, oh my god, I'm getting the shit kicked out of me. You cut out, and then you don't get any money. You have to take
Define
the whole
a beating. Like what kind of what does beating
someone
consist of?
beating the shit out of you. Faces just getting pummeled by fists.
I think
shins coming right to your thighs, just like those brutalizing hits that you see in MMA. That's what you have to deal with. This isn't a little tit-tat thing.
This guy says I'm taking the beating from Floyd himself. All right,
Okay,
so
exactly.
I'm going to take this as how many seconds will I elect to be in the ring with Floyd Mayweather? And I think my answer is 3 minutes because he's going to
3 minutes.
I think he's going to knock me out long before that.
Then you won't make it.
No, I won't.
No,
I'll
you
still
have
pay.
to make it till the end, otherwise you don't get the money.
He's not going to just keep beating me. The ref will stop it.
Well, just curl into a ball.
I mean, the crowd will
Hope for the
eventually if it
best.
just keeps going.
I don't know. This is hard. It's probably better to get beaten by Mayweather than Pacquiao, right?
Yeah,
because
that's what
Pacquiao
I
is the
think.
one who it's just a flurry of punches, and
he's
it's
got
just
that
you're getting
fucking
obliterated.
left that comes from your blind side or something. Whereas Mayweather's thing is his defense. He's very difficult to hit. People get frustrated because he just sort of goes backwards, and then he's got this stance. Like most people, like they kind of keep their arms up like this. They got the big gloves, and it protects you from the hits. He uses his shoulder, and he puts his shoulder up, and he stands like this, and it's very difficult to hit him. But Pacquiao is going to win, according to me. Lozon says I'm wrong, but
I'm going to say 30 seconds. I can make it. 30 seconds. Realistic. Just getting the shit kicked out of me for $6 million. That sounds pretty good.
I've had the shit kicked out of me, and I can't do it for very long. But I really like money. So, I'm running some numbers here. 60 times 23,000 is 1.4 million almost. I think 60 seconds. If I have to hit it, 60 seconds might be the number. I mean, hell, it seems like I could get a knockdown or two, right?
I think you could run for 20 seconds. Just tick that down right away.
He's going to cut the ring off.
$460,000 worth of running, I promise you.
I don't think so. I think he'll cut
the barrel rolls.
These guys are trained to stop you from running away. You go this way, they stand where you want to be, and they just work you into the side, and it's awful.
Yeah, but if you pull an Andy Kaufman and you literally sprint around them, they're not prepared for that.
They probably don't see that much.
They're
it won't
cut off
take
your
long.
stance, close you
It
off,
won't-
box you in, but they're not ready for this.
No, they're not. But it's not going to take long for them to adapt. So you've basically got what I can see as a 6 to 8 second window of running around like a maniac before they're eventually is this turning into something? Is this going to be
Has
an
anyone ever
attack?
been
No,
hit in
this
the
guy's
side
just
by a
running
real
around.
boxer?
As soon as he cocks back the first punch, I'm going to spit my mouth guard at him. That's round two. That's my second move. and I'll take 2 or 3 warnings. They can deduct all the points they want. I'd find a way to get rich off of getting my ass
If the
beat.
question is, would I go in there? Absolutely. I would go in there, and I would last as long as I could, and I would try and win. If that was part of the deal, if they're like, Woody, you can't just run and be a bitch and cover up and dive. You literally have to go in there and try and beat one of these guys. I'd be like, all right, sign me up. I will try.
Oh, I
If
wouldn't
they-
go
like
in and try and beat him. I would go in with a tattoo that said youtube.com/X Capone.
Oh, smart.
My branding would never be better.
No, but if hypothetically you had to try to win to get your money, I would give it a go. I would.
I
yeah.
would.
0% chance.
Okay,
Right,
here's,
for sure.
I'm going to turn this into a romantic story. Here's what
my
I would
God.
do. I would tell my wife goodbye, and I would get into the ring, and I would stand there and allow him to beat me, arms to my side, until he was forced to beat me to death, so that I would leave her with more money than she would ever need. I've been watching
Nope.
Breaking Bad.
Oh.
It's basically what it is, yeah.
So is that how you see it, Boogie? You'd be standing there like a pariah, just arms
Right, that's what I would want to do.
holier than thou.
I would wanna go
and
in there
then
like a-
after punch number 3, you're just like, oh, whoa, whoa.
when I was in hhigh school, I got into a fight when I was 12, and it was an older kid, and I hurt the kid.
You were in
pretty
high
bad.
school at 12?
Well, I mean, I was in, well, I guess I was actually because we didn't have a middle school.
Okay.
So, what grade are you in 8th grade? How old are you when you're in 8th grade?
13,
You're like
but you could be
14,
12.
13 or 14 in 8th grade.
All right, so I guess I was 13 because I was in 8th grade, so whatever that was. But I hit the kid, and I hit him pretty damn hard, and I ended up hurting him pretty bad, and then our family ended up getting sued over it and it sucked. So then I swore I'd never hit another person, and I've managed to maintain that, but I did get into one more fight, and it was this kid. I failed 10th grade PE because I was embarrassed by my body and I didn't want to dress out, so I just didn't. And I had to take it over my senior year to make it up for it. So I was in 10th grade PE, and this one kid is always kind of making fun of me. And I've always been sharp with my tongue, so he would say things like, "Hey, good job out there today, you fat fuck. If you could run, we would have won," or whatever. And I'd say things like, "Well, I'm really tuckered out from fucking your mother's asshole all last night, and I'm got to tell you something. I've got to pick off all these fucking crabs, and it's just disgusting." And I would say things like that to him, and one
That's
day he
how
just
you
got-
win.
Right, one day he just got like super mad, and he threw a punch at me and hit me square in the face, and I'm just like, "Dude, you don't want to fuck with me. I really do not want to ever hit anybody back. Please don't." And our coach was nearby, so he came and separated us. Well, that kid was waiting with him and his 2 older brothers at my car later that day. And they're like, "Oh, you fuck our mothers." And I'm like, "No, it's a joke, man." Because, well, I don't find that kind of joke very funny. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to let our little brother hit you, or we're all going to take you down. I'm like, "I'm never going to throw a punch at another person, dude. You can beat me as long as you want." And so he hit me several times in the face until my glasses flew off, broken. And then he hit me several more times. And I thought I could be super tough. Like I did exactly that pariah thing. I'm like, "All right, man, just do whatever you got to do." But eventually I'm driving home, right? I want to do that. But no, I mean, it starts hurting, man. I mean, he's like just clawing at my face. I don't know how many times he hit me. It must have been 8 or 9 times. And I just started bawling my eyes out. I'm like, "I can't believe you're fucking doing this. You're just going to beat me knowing I won't punch you back." And he's just like, "Well, hit me back. And I'm like, "I'm not going to touch you. There's no chance this is going to happen." He's like, "I'm just going to keep hitting you then." He just keeps hitting me. And eventually he got bored. And
See,
so
the
I know I can
mistake
take a
you
punch.
Was
I mean, he was
not
half-
hitting back.
Well, I didn't want to hit him back, and I felt glad about that. I'm proud that I didn't hit him back. I'm proud that I'm a pacifist. I'm always going to be a pacifist. I don't want to hurt other people. I didn't hurt the guy. I'm so grateful for that. That gives me so much self-confidence in the things that my convictions and the things I believe in, for the rest of my life. But also, I didn't get any
This
trouble.
sounds like a terrible day. And I
Yeah.
personally would have felt awesome if I could have somehow summoned the super me and beat up all 4 of them. That would
Yeah.
be glorious.
I
That
got
would have
1
been
week of in-school suspension, which is like a vacation for a kid with like anxiety
Oh,
issues.
in school suspension
then he
is
got-
the shit.
Right. He got 2 weeks of out-of-school suspension. But I knew I had it made. I knew I had it made when my principal brought me my lunch and in-school suspension. And I'm like, "Can I get an extra milk with this?" So I normally get an extra milk, sir.
I had in school suspension.
You know?
I didn't think it was that good.
No,
loved
I
it.
hated it.
Yeah.
I brought a bunch of Nintendo
Oh, it's
Power
not that
magazines
bad.
and stuff, and I just sat there and read Nintendo Power. I
I
snuck
told
porno
my
mags in
librarian
once.
to go to hell. That was my mistake. There was
Oh, Woody, you rapscallion.
there was a so when you walk out of the library, we had books, right? And the books had these little like a security system type deal, and if you bring the book through it beeps. So what you'd have to do is hand your book to the librarian, and they'd hand it back, and that would like go around the security system. Well, the librarian wasn't where she was supposed to be, so I just kind of did it by myself. Like I handed the book to myself, and apparently, I thought that was a fine solution for everyone. Like if you're not in place, don't worry, I got this covered by myself. But they wanted me to go back in line and then do it again and hand it to a librarian to accomplish the same thing. And I told her to go to hell, and I got suspension.
That seems like a go to hell kind of moment.
Yeah.